Thank God they won that cluster F of a game, huh? Yeah, I know. It helps me forget about this bug I have, if just for a moment or two. Thanks for giving it to me, by the way. Preds tied the New Jersey Devils 5-5. And then everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the New Jersey Devils in a gimmick 2-1, thus winning the game 6-5. It wasn't pretty compared to other games this season, but they won back-to-back games on the road when trailing after 2 periods. It may not be February yet, but one player on the Preds roster tonight certainly acted like it was. He helped the Preds not to cave, and this team showed resilience when they could have easily just shut her down in the third and chalked it up to a trap game. As you ladies and gents might be able to tell, I am suffering from a bit of a cold right now, but the Preds did their job and persevered and got the win tonight, so I am going to get you the PFR done tonight as well. Fun fact, considering how this game could have ultimately been decided tonight, 21 years ago, the Preds went into New Jersey during the Preds expansion season and won their first ever OT game against the New Jersey Devils franchise. Anyone remember who got the OT winner? Sebastian Bordeleau. PK Subban returns to the lineup from injury for the Devils, playing his former team for the second time this season, as John Hines makes his first trip back to New Jersey since they fired him earlier this season with his new team, your Nashville Predators. It doesn't take very long for the Preds to get going tonight, as 42 seconds in off of a pass from Jared Tenorti, Ekholm lets it rip and the Preds are up 1-0. 4 minutes later though, 2 Preds decide to pay attention to Hischier along the board as the puck comes loose to a left alone Pavel Zacha, who goes in on his partial break on Rene and ties the game at 1. Yeah, it would have been nice to get a stop there, but like I said, don't double team a guy leaving somebody like Zacha wide open. 3.5 after that though, an Arvidsson pass deflects off of Turris and comes right to FILbruary, who buries it past Blackwood, restoring the Preds' 1-goal lead. Devils get an odd man rush late in the first, and Rene makes a great glove save that you think would be routine, but not with the Preds goaltending this season, and the Preds have a 1-goal lead after 1. 7 minutes into the second period, and Johansson takes a hooking call on Gusev of the Devils, and on the ensuing power play, there's a screen in front of Rene, and he has no chance as Zacha gets his second of the game through that screen, and it tips off of Fabro and ties the game at 2. Gusev immediately goes back to work for the Devils like a good teammate would, and he draws a high sticking call on Matt Duchene. And on the ensuing power play, 2 things go wrong for the Preds. Nick Bonino's stick breaks and Pekka Rene loses control of his stick, giving him no chance when Gusev, who drew the 2 penalties from the Preds, buries it to give the Devils their first lead of the game. Devils 3, Preds 2. 2 minutes later though, pressure in the Devils' end, and Bonino, wanting to make up for his stick breaking and whatever that was in Washington last night, gets control of a rebound and buries it to tie the game back up at 3. For a third line center, that's his 15th of the season. But under 3 minutes to go in the second, Bratt would give the Devils the lead again, forcing the Preds to come back on back-to-back nights when trailing after 2, as the Devils would hold that 4-3 lead after 40 minutes. Preds fans don't have to wait as long as they did last night, tonight, for this team to respond, as 33 seconds into the third period, Matt Duchene scores his 11th of the season on assists from Ryan Johansson and Roman Josi, and this game is tied at 4. Devils will not go away quietly though to the better team on paper, you would presume, as 6:37 into the third period, off of a quick face-off through a screen of Tenorti in front of Rene, Hayden gives the Devils a 5-4 lead. 9:20 into the third period, though, Simmons would take a hooking call on Colton Sissons, who has come back into the Preds lineup tonight. And the weak Preds power play gets a chance to give this team a chance for a W, and it goes to work as the puck is passed around and it comes to FILbruary, who gets his second of the game just before the month of February, and we have a 5-5 tie. Preds with some great pressure later in the third in the Devils zone when Yannick Weber's stick breaks and the Devils look to be off to the races to get that sixth goal that will probably put the Preds away if they score, but they can't, and we're still tied. Under 10 seconds left to go in regulation, when the Devils look clean and clear to at least get a point out of this game, Andy Green, who is playing the puck in his own zone, loses control of it, and Michael Grenland gets a great chance to give the Preds the walk-off win, but he can't bury it, so we're off to overtime. Preds with the solid edge in chances to score the walk-off goal in overtime. The best chance probably being the 2-on-1 that Arvidsson had with Turris, where Arvidsson decided to keep it, but it was stopped by Blackwood. Overtime ultimately solved nothing, and it's off to the gimmick. In round one of the shootout, Forsberg and Gusev would match successfully for their teams. In round two, Matt Duchene with the beautiful backhand deke past Blackwood, and then Jack Hughes is unable to get his shot past Rene, making it 2-1 Preds after 2 rounds. In the third round, Ryan Johansson with his classic go-to move of the slow motion deke out fails for him as Blackwood is with him the whole way. But fortunately for the Preds, Palmieri, as the Devils' final shooter that round, is unable to beat Rene, giving the Preds the victory. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done against a team they had no excuse to lose to. They're using up their games in hand against the teams ahead of them in the standings correctly. After tonight, they have 2 games in hand on Vegas, who they play inside Bridgestone Arena on Saturday, and they have 3 games in hand on Arizona, who lost tonight at home to the LA Kings. As I mentioned, key game against Vegas on Saturday before this team heads out on a 4-game West Coast Canadian road trip against 3 teams currently in playoff spots and 1 team trying to get a playoff spot. Keep it rolling, boys. You have no wiggle room left with 32 games left in the regular season. And finally, congratulations to David Poile, who passes Glenn Sather for the all-time wins list for both regular season games and playoff games with win 1507 tonight. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit like if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media links by clicking on the channel name. Preds Nation, cross your fingers for me that this bug is gone by Saturday.